So in this part B of the ecology series, we are going to discuss the trophic levels. Okay. Trophic levels are different stages in the food chain. They are represented by numbers. So you can make the levels like level 1, 2, 3, 4. So level 1 may be the basic trophic level, which are called producers. For example, plant, algae, they are all producers. Level 2 is the one which feeds on the first level, which are called primary consumers. Okay, got it? Level 3 is the one which feeds on the level 2, so they are called secondary consumers. Level 4 is the one which feeds on the level 3, so it's called tertiary consumers, or since they have no predators, they are in the top of the food chain, they are called apex predators. So to learn this correctly, you can see here, this is one of the easiest method of learning the consumers. Okay, so basic level is a producers, is a kind of a upward pyramid. Okay, and then we have primary consumers, we can say like bunny and deer and those things. Secondary consumers like for example fox. Tertiary consumers like the lion. Okay, so it causes a upward type of pyramid. So this is a good example to say about the trophic levels. Okay, decomposers break down the dead plant and animal matter. They do this by secreting enzymes. The matter is broken down into small soluble food molecules and they move into the microorganisms by diffusion. Okay, decomposers, how they work. Now pyramids of biomass. What is pyramids of biomass? It is nothing but transfer of the biomass. So biomass is nothing but the amount of energy or something which is transferred from one level to other level, like a carbon. So pyramids of biomass show the relative biomass at each trophic level. It shows the relative weights of the material at each level. There is less biomass as you move up the trophic level. Again, you can look at the same pyramid. As you go up, the amount of biomass will be very less. See, number of plants and grass in the world is so much actually compared to the small animals, medium-sized animals and large animals. So it's a very good example to say that in higher level the biomass is less. That indirectly shows as the biomass moves from lower level to higher level, there is some loss. This loss can be a loss of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, loss of water vapor into the atmosphere, something like that. Okay, and there is less biomass as you move up the trophic level. It's very clearly written. So that indirectly means not all the food consumed by animal is converted into biomass as we go up. This means the biomass of the organism in the level above the another will always be higher, as not all organisms can be consumed and converted into biomass. Okay, so producers like plants and algae transfer about only 1% of the incident energy from light for photosynthesis. Not all light stands in the green photosynthesizing parts of the plant. So even if you take a plant, it is not taking up all the sunlight. Okay, ma? So the sunlight falls into sand, sunlight falls into water, which is not utilized. Okay, so for every level there is a loss of energy. Only approximately 10% of biomass of each trophic level is transferred to the next. Okay, not all biomasses can be eaten. So much of plants may go waste. Okay, and not all of the biomass eaten is converted into biomass of the animal which is eating it. So animal can also spend the energy. It won't really form into the biomass of the animal. Okay, so lots of glucose is used in respiration, urea is used in a waste substance produced as a waste substance, and biomass consumed can be lost. So what is efficiency of biomass transfer? It's a very nice equation. You need to understand this. So efficiency means biomass which is transferred to the next level divided by biomass in the previous level. Okay, if all the biomass is transferred, which means biomass transferred will be equivalent to biomass in the previous level. So it is 1 divided by 1, which will become 1 into 100, 100%. So that means 100% of the energy is transferred from the previous level. Usually it won't happen. For example, if you take the example, biomass transferred to the next level as the photosynthesis. Okay, it's only 10%. divided by biomass in the previous level, which is the light from the sun, which is 100%. Okay, 10 divided by 100 into 100 will give you 10%. So in the example which we have seen, the biomass efficiency transfer is only 10%. Okay, because less biomass transferred each time, it is common to find less animals in the higher trophic level. Okay, we can see that the pyramid is having a upward narrowness. That's why. Factors affecting the food security. This is another like a sideline topic, but it's nice to know. Okay, what is food security? Having sufficient food to feed the population. That is food security. So if you see, for example, in the whole world, if you take number of people living, there is more than enough food for everyone. There is. The only problem is it is inappropriate distribution. So some people are getting more amount of food, some people have more amount of money which is saved in the bank or as a gold, so people would need, they don't have enough food. If the amount of energy available, resource available is equally divided for every man and woman, everybody will be having enough food. It's only disproportionate distribution which makes as if food is scarcity somewhere. Okay, so the concept which we are going to discuss is having sufficient food to feed the whole population. Okay, what are the factors which affect this one? Increase of the birth rate in one area, okay, not in other area, and the changing diets in developed countries. The food habits are nicely changed. Nobody is eating salad, everybody is eating only McDonald's, so you will be having wastage of the green plants, etc. New pests and pathogens can destroy the crop. Okay, climate change can affect problems like flood, etc. And conflicts in some countries can affect the agriculture. And to feed everyone is earth, sustainable methods are needed. What is sustainability? Sustainability means whatever we have, we should be able to use, reuse, and make ourselves self-sustainable. We don't have to take something from outside. We should be able to use with whatever we are having. That is sustainability. Okay, as you know, overall earth can take only light from outside. Other than that, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, everything is from inside only. So there is sustainability is a very important thing in this era. So farming techniques. So for example, we can do the farming techniques like farmers aim to increase the amount of energy in the food which is converted to biomass and livestock because it's more efficient. So they are making good amount of animals, good amount of farming, good amount of plants, etc. Raising them in small cages so that less movement, therefore less energy wasted on this. You can see the caged chicken, even though it's very bad for the health. That's why now we are having the free range chicken which is reared in a free range tropic areas. Okay, and areas where they are kept and have high temperature, so less energy is wasted, so body will become nice and fat. Okay, and to increase the growth they are also given high protein food. So these are all not a very healthy methods of farming. Okay, this type of farming has many ethical objections because lots of animals are kept in small place causing distress. It also increases the risk of spread of infection, and a single infection the whole, for example, chick farm can get affected. Okay, so farming techniques have to be nice and good. So for example, if you take this diagram, this is a biodiversity. Okay, so man has to be good with the animals. There will be like butterflies and sea animals, rivers and frogs, honeybees. Everyone should live in a very nice congenial method, that is biodiversity. The other thing what we are going to see also in the future is energy flow in the tropic level. Okay, so from the plants, okay, there is an energy flow to the rabbit. There is a heat loss, carbon loss, that is known as primary consumers. From there we have secondary consumers. Again there is a heat loss, again there is a carbon loss, and then we have the tertiary consumers. There also there is heat loss. So that's known as energy flow in tropic levels is showing a pyramid pattern. Even the energy from the sun is not fully used by the plant, that you need to understand. And this pyramid you have seen very clearly. It's a very nice demonstration of upward pyramid. Okay, and this is known as food security. So we have to make sure that the food is available, secure for all the population. That's what discussed here. And this is the one which we are going to discuss now, where instead of raising the food from animals, we can produce the same tasty food materials by using fungus. Say for example, mycoprotein. It's a good proteinaceous food. It is from the fungus. That's why it's known as myco. Myco word means fungus, M-Y-C-O. And the fungus name is Fusavium vernatum. By clearly using this product in corn, it gives that a natural good quality protein. Okay, not dependent on the animal rearing, which can cause methane gas, biodiversity, ozone layer problems, everything. Okay, so advantages of these things are they are same as a meat, faster to growth, all essential amino acids are there, easily produced without much climate damage. And disadvantages, taste is slightly not as good, can be grown using the waste as a substance material such as paper and wheat, and protein needs to be purified to avoid contamination because it's a top of a fungus, and care needs to be taken to avoid microbial infections. Okay, and now we are finished the land farming. That's what we have discussed mostly. Now we are going to discuss the sea farming or aquatic farming. If you see this picture, now you can see that a large ships are producing aquatic farming. They will produce rows and rows of these anchors. So the fish will get hooked up and they will just take everything in one go. Okay, so that creates a lot of instability in the sea water, so that lot of animals are lost in single go. Okay, so we need to make sure there is a sustainable agriculture even in the sea. That's why in the salmon and all, they are making sure that during the breeding seasons the farming should not happen, okay, in the sea. Okay, so it's very clearly given. Next one is sustainable fisheries. The number of fish in the oceans is decreasing. This is because humans are fishing at a faster rate than whatever the fish population can grow. To avoid species disappearing in some areas, population needs to stay above the certain level so breeding can continue. How we can do that? There is a limit of net size, making them bigger so smaller fish are not caught, can reach breeding age and produce more fish. So if you allow the small fish to grow, you can take in the big fish alone. Okay. Fishing quotas means only certain number of species of fishes can be caught in an area over only certain number of period. Biotechnology. So how biotechnology can help you? That's what we have discussed now. So by using the fungus like Fusarium, which produce mycoprotein, which are protein rich food source suitable for vegetarians, they can be grown on a glucose syrup in aerobic conditions, and fungus is harvested. The only thing is it has to be purified. So fungus is not good for the body. Okay, it has to be purified. It reduces the land use and reduces also methane contribution from the cows. And genetically modified bacteria can produce insulin, which can be used to treat the diabetes. So this is biotechnology. So we have read about farming in the land, farming in the sea, and biotechnology, which is like an industrial production. Okay, that's almost completes that. Genetically modifying crops have certain good properties which has many advantage. For example, modifying them to be resistant to pest, so extreme weather conditions the plants can grow well, and it modifying them to increase the nutritional values beneficial in places where they lack access to certain vitamins. So for example, we can make sure that the rice is fortified. You can use the word fortification, so that the rice itself is known as golden rice. It has got vitamins, it has got minerals, etc. Okay, and for example, iodine is added to the salt which is coming from the sea. Okay, so it's iodinated salt will avoid thyroid related problems. So you can do this kind of biotechnology based improvement. So we have seen farming based improvement. Okay, making sure that the crops are nicely grown or the animals are bred in a correct manner. And then we have the sea based sustainable fishing and biotechnology based corn protection by Fusiferum mycobacteria, and also genetically modified species, and also fortified species. I hope this whole lesson is useful for you, and wish you all the best.